I am Pat Gage's AI clone. Pat Gage is the founder of Opportunity Creator. He personally researches and writes every script I share on this channel because the future is moving too fast for anything less than first-hand intelligence. The Opportunity Creator, Pat's real estate company, is the world's first educational and implementation solution that helps real estate professionals and organizations prepare for the future of real estate. We help people understand and use AI to their highest advantage. Learn more at opportunitycreator.com. I just finished writing an offering memorandum for a luxury townhome development in Des Moines. Here's the thing. I started this at 9 a.m. It's 10:27 a.m. right now. 90 minutes, a full OM, executive summary, market analysis, property description, financial overview, the deal structure, all of it. If you're a solo broker doing this kind of work without a team, stay with me. This is the video I wish I had 6 months ago. Here's what a typical OM used to cost me. Not money, time. I'd spend the better part of 2 days on a solid OM. Executive summary alone, 2 to 3 hours, because I'm staring at a blank page trying to make a property sound like the opportunity of the decade. I'm not a bad writer, but writing is not what I'm getting paid for. Deal making is what I'm getting paid for. About 6 months ago, I started experimenting with Claude, not ChatGPT, Claude, for this kind of document work. The difference in output quality for dense analytical writing is significant enough that I'm going to show you my exact process today. Let's go. Okay, I'm in Claude. I use a Claude project for all my CRE work. It keeps my brand voice and formatting preferences persistent across conversations, so I'm not re-explaining myself every time. Think of it like a briefed assistant that already knows how I work. The first thing I do is give Claude what I'd give a junior analyst walking in on their first day. Everything I know about the property, raw, messy, it doesn't matter. Claude organizes it. Here's exactly what I typed. See what I did at the end? I told it not to write yet. This is probably the single most important thing I can teach you today. If you just say, write me an OM, Claude fills in the gaps with generic language that sounds like every other OM ever written. I want it to surface what it doesn't know first. So it comes back with a list of clarifying questions. This is exactly what a good analyst does. It's asking me the questions I'd ask myself. Now I'm forced to actually answer them, which makes the eventual output 10 times sharper. Spend maybe 10 minutes on this. You can answer conversationally. You don't need to be formal. Claude understands context. Okay, I've answered Claude's questions. Now I ask for the executive summary. Look at that first sentence. That's the investment thesis right there. That's the sentence I would have spent an hour trying to write. It's not perfect. I'm going to adjust the market stat it cited to match my actual comp data, but the bones are there. And here's the thing that took me a while to internalize. Claude isn't replacing my judgment. It's replacing the blank page. I still read every word. I still change things, but I'm editing, not drafting from scratch. That's a completely different mental gear. The market analysis section is where generic AI output falls apart fast. If you just ask Claude for a market analysis for Des Moines, you'll get Wikipedia level stuff. Here is how I get something usable. See the instruction at the end, make a skeptical institutional buyer lean forward. That's direction. Claude responds to intent, not just tasks. I'm going to pause here and be real with you about something. Claude does not know your local market, cannot pull live comp data, cannot tell you what absorption rates are in zip code 50312 this quarter. You have to give it that data. What it does brilliantly is turn raw numbers into a narrative argument. That division of labor is how this works. For the financial overview, I'm working from a pro forma I already have. I'm not asking Claude to underwrite the deal. That's my job, and I verify everything independently. I'm asking it to translate my numbers into clear language for buyers who might not live in Excel the way I do. That last instruction will flag with need data is something I add to every financial prompt. Claude will never make up a number that I've explicitly told it to flag, and now I have a clean checklist of exactly what I need to fill in before this goes to a buyer. At this point, I have 4 major sections drafted. Then ask Claude to give me a consistency pass, checking that the tone is unified, the numbers match across sections, and the narrative arc holds from executive summary through to financials. Caught 2 things I would have missed. The projected timeline in the executive summary said Q3 delivery, but the financial section said 14 months from groundbreaking. Those aren't necessarily contradictory, but they read that way to an outside reader. Flagged and fixed. The second flag was a tone note. My market analysis section ended on a cautious note about rising construction costs, and Claude pointed out that this undercut the investment thesis argument in the executive summary. It was right. Softened the language without removing the disclosure. So that's the full workflow. Property brief, clarifying questions, executive summary, market analysis, financial overview, consistency pass, 90 minutes start to finish. A few things I want to be clear about before you go run this yourself. Claude writes what you give it. Garbage in, garbage out. This is not a research tool. It's a drafting and narrative tool. You still need to own the data. 2. Every output needs your editorial eye. Edited every section. The quality gap between the raw Claude draft and the final OM is real, but it's editing work, not drafting work, and that gap is where your expertise shows up. 3. This is not a one-size-fits-all prompt. The prompts I showed you today are tuned for my workflow, my market, and my writing style. You'll need to adapt them, which is why I put together a free OM prompt pack. All the prompts from this video, formatted and ready to paste, plus 5 additional prompts I didn't cover today. 1 pack for the deal structure section, 1 pack for the risk factors section, another pack for the call to action page, and finally 2 for investor outreach emails to go alongside the OM. To grab your pack, the link is in the description. It's free. No pitch, no upsell. Just enter your email and it goes straight to your inbox. If this video was useful, please subscribe so you do not miss another one. Post 1 video a week on using AI as a solo CRE operator. Next week, I'm showing how I abstract a 40-page commercial lease with Claude, including the 2 things it consistently gets wrong to watch for. See you on the next video.